Greetings, greetings. Good morning. Hope you all are ready for another day of trading. We're going to jump right into it. Let's take a look. Dow futures currently down 0.68%. S&P futures down 0.79%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.92%. Dow futures tumbled 200 points as most stocks besides NVIDIA are pulling back. Ain't that something? Asia mostly down. Their markets are lower after investors assess Australian inflation data. Our ASX 200 is Australia. Shanghai is the only one that's up, and it's only up by a little bit, 0.05%. Hong Kong is HSI, and they're up the most, 1.89%. Europe, mostly everything was down for Europe. Europe stocks extend losses after worst session for a month. Wow. So looks like everything pretty much is up at least 1% except for FTSE right here. So when they dropped, they dropped. That's what that looks like. Russell 2K for us last reported down slightly 0.14%. The VIX currently is up 14.16, and it is up 9.60%. That is what is going down with the VIX. And of course, always keep in mind that when VIX is up, typically you may see more selling happening in the market. It's not 100%, but it is a good enough consistent gauge for us. For our Forex Factory, we've got Richmond Manufacturing Index today. That is a orange folder. FOMC member William speaks, yellow folder. Beige book, yellow folder. FOMC member Bostic speaks as well on today. Now, Bostic is speaking at 7 p.m., so we'll be out of the woods. 10 o'clock, the orange folder. 1:45 is the yellow folder. And 2 o'clock is the other yellow folder. So we will be moseying ourselves on up out of there once that 7 o'clock time frame shows up. We're going to look at more of a live view from investing.com. We got some things that started at 7 o'clock this morning. We have the NBA 30-year mortgage rate, the NBA mortgage applications week over week, the NBA purchase index and the market index, as well as a refinance index, mortgage market, mortgage refinance, and NBA purchase index. Those are all 1 stars. Red Book year over year was at 855. Everything that was reported was neutral, I guess you could say. It did not negatively affect the economy, so that would be a good thing. That does not mean that we're going to have a great opening or it's going to be in our favor. And there's the bell and all the other good stuff. So, just keep that in mind. Um, just because we have that type of opening does not mean that we're going to, neutral isn't always good is what I'm trying to say. Still got to check the charts. 1-star events. In 29 minutes, we got the Richmond Manufacturing Index for May, the Richmond Manufacturing Shipments for May, and the Richmond Services Index for May, as well as the Dallas Fed Services Revenues for May. All those are 1 stars. Dallas and the Texas Services Sector Outlook for May, all 1 stars. Those last 2 are happening in an hour. At 1 o'clock, we got the 7-year note auction, 2 stars. FOMC member William speaks over here is 2 stars, 1:45. 2 o'clock, 2 stars, beige book. 2:30, API weekly crude oil stock. And again, 7 o'clock, FOMC member Bostic speaks. First of all, we'd like to say good morning to everybody. Marlissa, Janae, Marcia Dawson, Lady T, Nori, good morning, everybody. Appreciate y'all showing up. Also, want to say good morning to all of our people who are watching on our replay as well. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate it. We are noticing that the views have been increasing, and we are glad to have you. You can always send us a question, post us a question below, and we will get to it ASAP. All right. Let's check out what Mancini was saying. This here. So yesterday, 5284, 5280 was key support in SPX, where our posted bulls had 15 minutes to rally. They did, and we pushed about 30 points late day. Overnight, we retested and grabbed below. We grabbed below, really? Okay, sir. Plan today, 5269 support, 5284 must reclaim fast now to work back up to 5302. 5269 fails, we dip to 5263, 5254. Hello, Sizzline. Let's do, so we need 5269. So I'm going to take this off of here. We're going to do our 5269. And this is SPX. So we see that it gapped down. Check that out. Boom, boom. Given what we just saw with everything being down, that should not be a surprise to any of us, since we got that pre-market news telling all the business. That's the way that works. Right? So we're going to mark this gap real quick. And then we're going to put in 5269, which is already went through there. Matter of fact, we'll do it like this. 5269. And then we'll put that in as Mancini. 5269. Right. And then we will keep it pushing. I see that we have some tickers that we will be able to swing on through and take a look at. Just as recap for yesterday, I'm pretty sure that the way this gapped up, some of us thought, oh, you know what? This might be an up day. But after that first 15 minutes, that's why you got to start watching. Because when it dropped, my thing was, I thought it would at least come back up a little bit higher than it did, but I was more so surprised at the way it dropped right here around, what was that, 145. But again, if you go back and look at some of our, look at yesterday's information and the discussions that were had and the news, it was not that big of a surprise around that same time frame. So that was not a devastating, breaking news type situation. So it actually moved back up to just about where it closed. It actually moved up to almost about where it opened. So it wasn't that far away. But today we got a gap down. And when it gapped down today, it filled the gap from a couple days ago. I remember this on the 23rd, it gapped up here. And this is on the 15-minute chart. So this is what it just gapped down into and filled that. So that's what's going on. Good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Ward. All right, so here's what we got so far. I see Cisco Dash, Amazon, VRT. I'm not sure what that is, but VRT. So let's do these in some type of order. Vertiv. See what Vertiv is talking about. Man, Vertiv is on the run. Okay, Vert. I see you. Let's see what you're looking like on a monthly. All right. I like this. I like the fact that it's running up. Yeah, that's good. So that means that this is at all-time highs right now. So there's no ceiling technically. So what I'm seeing even on the weekly, I'm like, I'll be looking for Yeah, call credit. I mean, put credit spread is what I would be looking to do before I even. I don't know what they do. The company name sounds familiar, but so this has been a nice run up right here. Like this whole thing is. Whew. If you bought some of this when back in the day, however far back in the day is, you are probably grinning from ear to ear right now. So what I'm seeing here looks like it's trying to push down. You know how it is. This is all the way at the beginning, so we wouldn't be making any statements in terms of what we're gonna do quite yet. But what I do see is that it turned around right here. So what I will be doing is at least marking this and letting it tell us what the next group of moves could be. So we're going to do that in that color green. It turned around, so we'll leave it there. So that's one. Looks like it turned around here as well. And in the in this area right here, I literally just went by where I saw it turn around before. This happens to be about the area where it looks like it's bumping up against right now. Up here in the seller zone. So I would probably move this up about right here. Give us a little something. There's definitely a gap right here. And again, we're on the daily chart. So there's a gap right there. Oops. And for me, that tells me where I start my investigation. Because that means there is some space right there. That may work in our favor. So we'll mark this gap and keep it moving. Alrighty. Actually, it should have been a regular line. All right, so this is the gap. Mark the gap here to here to here, something like that. Now, if you are, depending on how you chart, I would not be against somebody saying this is a cheer formation. Leg in, base, leg out. And I will be looking right up under here somewhere to get started. And then probably up here above it. All just depends. I don't know this stock at all, so I can't say which one is safer. Sometimes you can go above it when it's pushing down, but it might trigger back and go the other way. But the other thing I would do right now is look on the 4 hour and see if there's a seller formation in the 4 hour. And there is. So let's mark that. And only what I went to the 4 hour is just to zero in and see if there was another formation that I could possibly recognize at the top. It's so high at the top that for our purposes, we just want to be able to see what all it is doing. So this is what it ended up being up here on the 4 hour. So let me go back and show you that again. So this is what it looks like on the 4 hour. This formation is be leg in. I'll put 2 in the base and the leg out right here. So that's how I am judging that seller zone up here. Right. And so I will be looking, if I'm going to do a call credit spread, I'll be looking to go above 112. 112 where the players dwell. And then up under here, I'll be about 100, right? So now there may not be good premium since we're only a couple days away, but we can still peep it out. All right, so we got 81% out the money right now at 100 strike, which is 22 censuses. 22 censuses. All right. So we can definitely take a look at that. I will do good till cancel. And we're done just that quick. All right. For those of you who go the original route, we would go look and see 80. This is 80% out the money at that 100 strike. We'll be looking on the single spread to get that 100. Make that decision on the strike. You can switch this to vertical. And you will still end up in this area. In my case, I just put I put the legs together one at a time and go that route, but you will end up in the same spot. But this is what I have for here. So that's 22. Let's see if we can get a see if we can, might be able to get filled. We'll see. But that's the first one that we have in. Let's check out Cisco. This is Cisco, not the drink, by the way. So what we got, check see the weekly is going on. So this is what went down last week for Cisco. Cisco looks like it's man, this looks like one of those head and shoulder type of formations for the chart pattern. But definitely something is going down with this neckline right here. Something is going down. I see a buyer zone down here on the weekly. Right here, leg in, base, leg out. There's 3 in the base there. And then there's leg in, base, leg out right here. With this one, whenever I see this type of rejection in the seller zone, that gives me reason to believe this is heading down. So on the weekly chart, last week was a good indication, and that's what ended up happening. You got a cheer formation right here. I would be going for marking this cheer formation since it is the clearest for me right now. I'll be looking at something like that. And so this would be the cheer formation. Leg in, base, leg out. It is falling. Therefore, what I would do in this case is just give myself something. I'm going to go look and see what we got because we're going to have to do some investigating to see what's going down in the past. And there you have it. So you can do, this has not gone through this zone right here yet. It is gotten very, 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 very close. But it has not actually gone all the way through there. So that is what we would chart. Okay. 2. And probably should do this line first. There you go. So it has not gone all the way through this entire zone. So I would be looking at that. So we have this one. That's where it could fall to. Boom, boom. So this is in a buyer zone is what this is. So I'm going to mark it like this because we're in the buyer zone. or shall I say, this is where it's coming into. All right. And it looks like the bulls are trying to push this back up. That's what that looks like. I don't know if anybody is currently in Cisco, but there's a couple different things that can be done on this one. One thing could be going up here above price. This seems like it's starting to turn around. So I will look more so take the enter at your own risk approach by going down here. But I will definitely be looking to see what else is down here. I do see a gap down here too. Definitely want to look at that. All right. Then we're going to add one more line. See what that's looking like. And again, in this case, we're just marking the gap. All right. Seeing what that's looking like. So this is where we're saying is the buyer zone, which is 45.82. We have a gap that is below that. So I will start the investigation looking at 45. 45 is 74% out the money. If you're going for May 31st. All right. If you're going for May 31st, this is a 0.5 spread. Okay. So probably not going to see too many coins. That's 6 cents. I don't know if you want to mess around with that. Because the fees is going to eat that up. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're going to go that route. And up here is 89% out the money, which again will be eaten up by fees. So let's take a look at next week.
Or what you could do is widen the spread for this week. So even though it's a 50-cent spread, you can turn it into a dollar spread or a one spread on the same week, and then see if you like the premiums that you're going to receive there.
Yeah, sure could do that. Very rare for me to say this, but I didn't like the premiums that I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you had on 50 cent. Yeah, I agree that $3 definitely isn't worth it. And yeah, not on the put credit spread side for sure.
Call credit spread ain't gonna be that much better.
It's gonna be what, $7?
Be 9, but I'm including fees in those.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree completely.
So, I don't want to see no nothing raggedy with it because them fees gets to eating. So and Cisco is not as volatile right now. So if you want to make it a one spread, this would be 0.09. All right, which would end up being $9. You could always go this route and just add $1 like that. So you can get 10% of this one spread. So that's one way to do it as well. That's one way to look at that. Then over here, it's 82% out the money. This would be 11. If you went with 47.5, 48.5, that would be 11 cents. Now that would be 11 cents, obviously, because this most recent activity looks like it's trying to push up. So price may be heading in its direction. So I'm gonna look and see what the ATR is as well. ATR for Cisco is 0.76. It's not even $1. So that's another one you can look at if you so chose, because that means that it won't be doing a bunch of volatile flopping around, which is what we don't want anyway. So that's one thing to look at there. So that's for Cisco, but these are definitely the zones. All right. I personally, even though I have Cisco on the watch list, when I last looked at it, I really don't mess with anything that's less than $1 in the ATR, in the average true range. If it's less than $1, I pretty much don't mess with it. And I think I had just 2 of them on the list when I looked. One of them was Cisco. The other one was this GDX for gold. So I usually don't trade them if they're that low. Because if they're that low, that means there's probably ain't any premiums.
That's definitely a good plan to watch the ones that have ATRs above 1, so that way you can get good premiums.
Right. Check out. Actually, let's go look at SPX real quick, and then we'll switch to Dash and Amazon, and also BR2. So let's see here. Okie dokie. So we're gonna add. So this line right here was for the gap down. All right. And then it so happens that this gap down where opening line, the top of that opening line will be where we mark for our 15-minute breakout. I'll just make it just a little bit above it. So this is what we're doing for the 15-minute breakout. This bluish, greenish blue line. That'll be what we're doing. And I'll bring this down a little bit. So far it has not broken past that opening candle. One thing to keep in mind though, so we know it can always bounce around, or I can't sing it because I don't want our listener to get in trouble.
You can sing one bar. Just sing one bar and stop.
I was gonna say jump around like House of Pain, but yeah, that song is too hype to just do one bar.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. Huh? Say it again.
I said I agree with that.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, they did a great job on that one. So we're still in between here. Obviously, we got our news that's that we mentioned when we first started off, and so right about now is the 10 o'clock turnaround that we are waiting to see what is going to happen. So what I did was I just marked the next level up that I saw that could be our resistance for this turnaround, and then the next one under it that could be the support. So we'll know once we hit those which direction is going, and give us an idea of which way the breakout could be going. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we were going to Dash. Good. Let's see what's going on. Is that DoorDash? Is that what we're looking at? Yeah. Yep.
Yep. That's what it is. That's what it is.
DoorDash. All right. It is basing right now. We're looking on the weekly. It is moving to the side on the weekly. It's a nice shear formation in the seller zone. Right there. There's another seller zone above it, technically. And I think most people will probably consider this a buyer zone, even though the leg in is kind of quirky looking, I guess you could say. But we see where that is going. Nice gap right here. Right. Did Dash have earnings recently? I feel like they had earnings recently. Oops. You shall see. I notice that it is bumping up against this. This is a significant price point right here at this 118, 117, because it keeps retesting that line. It gapped down before. Shall I say it gapped up before? This was a buyer's gap. And this time when it came back just in this general zone, but it dropped down right through the last gap. So whoever's trading Dash, I'll be paying attention to this price point right here. Obviously, he has to fill it. That's a $10 gap, but yeah, it keeps trying to retest there. So what I see for the next seller zone, buyer zone, what I see is down here. It's the clearest formation for a buyer zone that I see. That's on the daily. We could probably get some stuff on the 4-hour, but this gap right here, want to acknowledge, and this right here, we want to acknowledge. Alyssa, I'm assuming you have announcements. Alyssa, this child is on her phone, Lord. You'll see how I'm trying to give her the alley-oop, but she just totally let the ball bounce out of bounds. All right. Okay, so seller zone, gap, and then another buyer zone down here. You could also, there's a seller zone right here. Leg in, base, leg out. All right. There you go. So you got these seller zones closer together. This is too funny looking to be a zone for me. This right here, it's not really a share or anything like that, so I wouldn't be messing around with that. Alyssa, are you done with your phone conversation so you can? Still nothing? All right. Probably got this. Ain't no telling what's going on with these electronics with this woman. All right. So here's what else we got. This is also basing to the side right here. So in this case, we could also look at we could consider a iron condor. Again, don't forget, the closer you get to the expiration with some of these, because they're not volatile, there's no volatility, you won't get the same type of premiums you may be used to seeing on some things. So, that's always something to keep in mind. I would expect this about, I would say if we went to 109 and did a one spread, so that's 114. So this would be worth looking at, but keep in mind that because of where it's located, 109 is putting you about right here. All right. Putting you about right there. So we took a step back and we went to the 4-hour. You can see that there's a I would do it like this actually. So 111 to 109. So on the 4 hour, you would be under here for that 109. All right. So 109, 108. 13, one spread. It's 13% on that one spread. Let's see here. I'm going to have to flash the back signal next time. So, Lady T, I think you following this conversation. So I'm a
What bat signal? What are you talking about?
I called your name like 3 different times.
Oh, I had my I had it muted because
I figured.
I opened up another voice, so I couldn't have you talking and me talking.
Oh yeah, you over there. I'm just talking. You over there texting. I'm like, I'm literally talking to you. Like, are you not hearing me? Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I was not hearing you. What were you saying?
Figured.
What were you saying though?
Nope. You're gonna have to catch it on the replay. I ain't saying
what?
Nothing. Nope.
Y'all was supposed to start sending me messages. You know, y'all can message me if that's you see me looking at my phone. You'll see it pop up, and I can be like, "What's going on?"
I think we did agree on. I think we did agree on a Harley signal.
A Harley signal. Oh my goodness.
Yep, that's how we gotta get your attention now. No, I was asking you if you had any announcements.
Oh, not necessarily. I did want us to talk. I'm going to put a I cannot fire him because he's the one who covers this when I can't. Among other things. This is not the only thing he does, but I want to find out from our community, and I'll put a poll in the chat to find out what time we want to still do our Thursday calls. We had shifted the time, and I want to make sure that's the time we want to stick with. I want to make sure that we can do questions and answers. I want us to have a question and answer session here soon. I don't know if I want to do it live or, something. It could be I don't know how I can partner Zoom and YouTube together so that I can hear people ask their questions versus just have them typed in the thing. So I don't know if that's a thing. Besides that, don't forget, we still have the Start with the Chart challenge is starting on June the 3rd. It's going from June the 3rd to the 7th. It's a free challenge. But if you want to get the replays and extra time with me and all those good things, then there's a $47 price for the VIP. So definitely consider that. If you're already one of my members, you don't have to sign up. But if you are not a member, if you're not in my membership, then you will need to go ahead and register for it. It's free. Go to educator2trader.com and go ahead and get registered for the Start with the Chart challenge. Okay. All righty. That was it for me.
All right. That's what I always get. So this is what we're talking about. Start with the chart and make more profits challenge.
Yep. Start with the chart. And if you want to be, if you want to join the membership, of course, the membership opens you up to all the stuff that we do, and you get to do all those things at no extra cost. So those two, that's great that those two are together because you can just hang out with the challenge. If you want to hang out with us, many people who join our challenges have joined other challenges with us before, and some of them turn into members, which, when you're a member, you get access, you get full access. When you're in a challenge, you get access. When you're a member, you get access. It's a difference, right?
All righty. So we're going to look at Amazon. Well, first we're going to check SPX real quick. Do a little catching up. Still has not broken out yet. One thing we should be looking at, though, and I always kind of forget it, is Russell. So Russell 2K. And it also gapped down this morning. And it also has not broken out of its 15-minute zone on its first candle this morning. So I'm going to put this down here. All right. And we're also going to mark the next one up for its resistance. It is actually broken through this support recently. What we got back here? And then this is also support area. So it is literally responding right now to a previous support line. That's what that's doing. All right, let's go. Amazon. Amazon has been doing their thing. And by that, I'm not saying like, I'm not throwing shade about them increasing the Prime membership either. I meant in terms of the chart. Been moving on up. Slight pullback right now on the weekly. What's happening here? But they have zone on top of zone of what this looks like. If you said for the buyer zone, leg in, base leg out, and then you flip this around and went seller zone, leg in, base leg out, these would be pretty close together. So there's something going down. That this is a clear trend right here. This is a clear trend. This is definitely going down. And some people probably would do this, connect all these lines and consider this a breakout. And if it comes back down, see if it'll retest. They may see that retest as a move to continue up. But for right now, I have a buyer zone down here. The clearest seller zone that I see would be up here because there's a gap right up there. But I'll be more inclined to probably look at the weekly or the 4-hour to see if there's another clearer zone there, which I do not see, especially with this right here. So, yep. So I'll be going. All right, Amazon. Let's see what you got. This is called an ugly seller zone. It's the only way I can think to describe it. It's ugly seller zone because of this leg right here. And that would be the closest one, but I probably would be more comfortable just going up here. Because the thing is about this particular setup for Amazon, all the sellers are very clear. There's no question marks about where they are hiding. They are all in here. So what I would be doing, I think I'll just be up there and then This line is a area where it has been support and resistance before. So I will be marking that. This day has not finished yet, but it looks like it may be trying to form a buyer zone right now. But I will wait until that candle closes to see what happens and see if it goes past these other high points and opens. But this could be the next buyer zone. So I'll be waiting to see what happens next with Amazon. But if I'm pressed for a zone, I'll probably be up here, and there will more than likely be no premiums in those areas, but we can take a look. Let's see. I'm in Amazon right now. So if you were getting in right now, this is a 2.5 spread.
Mm-hmm.
So 180 will be down here. It'll be about what 180 is.
What's the plus minus number? Let me go look.
And for 180,
4.2 is the plus minus number. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong stock.
3.44.
I'm on the, there we go. I see it now. 3.4. Yep. I would go with 175, 180.
This is you would make this a 5 spread?
No, I meant to say 177.5.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
So that will be 10%. Let's see what happens on that. So that is the 180 that I was referring to. This is a strong, I would consider this a strong price point, the 180. But again, depending on how you want to chart this, some people would chart it leg in, base leg out with a small leg out. And then some people I probably would more than likely put 2 of these in the base myself. But I can see why somebody would put this as a seller zone right here. I'm less likely to do it, but I can see why they would do it. These are just funny looking leg ends, so or kind of like for mine it'll be a little bit more definitive, you know. Yep, Lady T, double top. And this would be one that I'll be waiting to see if it turns into a triple top. So, but the one that I got in at is the one that I would be looking at. Of course, you can look at something above it as well, if you so chose. 187.5, 190, which would be 187.5 would be up here. I just don't like this middle candle like that. It's too ridiculous for me. So I will stick to where I'm at. Keep it moving. The fact we got 10% on that collateral and is this close to expiration is good enough for me. We're gonna SPX, see what happened. Still has not broken out quite yet, but the buyers are pushing up. They're trying to make some noise up there. All right. So we have Russell again. Make sure we got everybody on our list for today. Russell has not broken out either. And 52.45, 52.40. 52.45. I see. You already talked about the PCS at 52.45, 52.40. I don't know what stock this is referring to, Alyssa. It looks like,
I think he was talking about SPX. That's the only thing with those numbers.
Okay, 52.45.
That's back when you had done SPX the last time.
52.45. I see this. Yeah, I had my PCS was my PCS was a little bit higher. I was under 52.60. So I was a little bit higher than that one when I started the investigation. Let's see, what did we decide on? But in this case, it hasn't broken out yet, so I hadn't even started looking at anything definitive yet. So I'll be watching. I will be watching that to see. But yeah, I hadn't looked that far down, Curtis. All right, Alyssa. Nothing else to if you have nothing else to announce, we can
I don't have anything else. I don't think I have anything else. Just to make sure that we trade strategically. 1:45, 2 o'clock. We do have some data or something coming out. I think the FOMC members are going to speak, and then that beige book is going to come out. I want to say 2 o'clock. And the beige book shows up on there as a yellow folder. But what happens is, along with the beige book, there's other books that information is released that is not mentioned there. So beige book can cause a little movement there. So just be mindful about that. Okay.
You might want to bring up Sim May is being wrapped up.
Oh yes, Sim May is wrapping up this week. I sure hope you all have taken advantage of the time that you've been in the Sim. And letting that help you, or at least let you get more comfortable and confident about some strategies that you were thinking about, but you weren't necessarily trading. And if your trade is ready, if your strategy is ready, then you can take it live, whenever you're ready. But if it's not ready, then you should continue Sim into Sim June. Take Sim into, let it go a little further. Trade the things that you see that I'm trading credit spreads actively and live because that's what we've been doing for a long time. But there's some things I'm doing in my Sim that I'm just learning and practicing on. So, keep that in mind. If there's some things like selling puts or doing cover calls or even doing iron condors, which is really nothing more than put credit spreads and call credit spreads, but to do them together, if that's stuff that you got to get more comfortable with, then do it in the Sim till you're ready. Do it in the Sim till you're ready. Okay.
That's the way we roll with it. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we got earnings before market open today. Abercrombie and Fitch was making all kind of noise because apparently they had their best first quarter in their history. So Chewy reported before market open, as well as Dick's, Advanced Auto Parts, Nordic American Tankers, BMO, Coal Plant, Columbus McKinnon, MediWound, and a lot. They all reported before market open. What I'm interested in seeing is after close today, Salesforce, C3AI, those who will be interested. UiPath, Okta, Nutanix also report. Pure Storage, HP does as well. Agilent Technologies, American Eagles Outfitters, which is, of course, competitors with Abercrombie and Fitch, and AMSC. And then tomorrow morning, before market open, you got Canopy Growth, Kohl's, Foot Locker, Dollar General, Maxion, Best Buy, Hormel, Burlington, Birkenstock, and the Build-A-Bear Workshop. In the morning, afternoon, after close is Costco, Dell, Zscaler, Marvell, MongoDB, Ulta, Sentinel One, NetApp, Viva, and Elastic. A lot of tech and consumer discretionary, I would think, is what is considered for after close, especially on tomorrow. But of course, you got plenty of consumer staples because of Dollar General. Probably Kohl's might be in there too. Friday before open, BRP and Genesco. So we got some things. We got some things happening. The C3 AI, the AI space is continuously evolving. All right. So you all, thank you so much for joining us again. To our people watching on replay, please feel free to leave questions and comments in the comment area. We will get to it as soon as we possibly can. Other than that, you all, we're going to hit our E2T daily declaration. By faith, I'm a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. E2T daily prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. All right, everybody. I want you to stay green, get this money, right? You got any questions in our Telegram group? You know, you have access to ask questions and also post your potential trades if you have questions for those. All right. I see you, Janae. Dollar General will definitely be one to look at. Oof. All right. You all have a great trading day, and we will see you in the market and or on tomorrow. Adios.